comes under it, but some of them, their followers, didn't do the thing peacefully. That's what some of the parts, some of the strikes, or some of the Gandhiji's moment came under these things. And next goes the non-violent direct action. The principle and the practical methods, they participate actively in it, and some of them are like, the example of Greenham common action. And the next is Gandhian non-violence. Gandhian non-violence, we everybody knows that what all he did, his satyagraha movement and everything. Then the non-violent revolution. Non-violent revolution believe in the need for the basic individual in a change of something that they are believing on. Okay, so let's go. Let me change my screen. Oops, my phone is not. Earlier, 30 to 35 years back, we never heard of counseling, what it was and what they were doing. And if you would have gone at that moment, someone is going to a doctor for, a lot of people might be depressed because of something. But at that time there was not such a thing where like people were farmers or living a peaceful life. And here we go, why we need a counseling. And why? Because see, if you are in this world, see, if you like a car and if you want to buy a car, if you want to know a car, you need to understand its engine, right? You will be understanding its engine, and how is it working, and how much mileage it's giving, and so many other stuff. So if you are living in this world, basically I want to tell you, everyone is a counselor. You are being a friend, you are being a friend to someone. Yeah, you're being friend to someone, you're being a parent to someone, you are being in a community, you're being a boss to someone, or you have a lot of relationship going around in a surrounding. You are saying you are a leader of somewhere. So why, mainly due to the, why do we need a counseling, how counseling emerged in our life. Okay, so basically we started changing. There was an urban migration where the people who were in IT sectors, or they were working so hard, the stress level grew so much. And then in the life in the fast lane, like, people were working so hard, and the children were so keen in academic competitions. Then goes the modern family system, the nuclear family. Like, suddenly there started to be earlier there were all people used to live together with a joint family, and suddenly there came a nuclear family where the separation from their parents and the separation from their children, that made a lot of problem at that times. So emotional erosion, lot of people didn't understand at that time. Like, people were divorcing, or people having sexual differences, people are sexually attracted to the same gender, or so many things. They were not able to understand what to do, what to speak, and what to say to the people. And that's where called the counseling came into the picture. Yes, so everyone is a counselor, I said you. See, if you're in the social media, if you're anywhere, your everything matters. The things you speak to the people, it matters. Okay, I'll tell you how it matters in a long run. Okay, and if you are even communicating to anyone, your every words hits very hard to anyone who is communicating to you. Just think, the same thing is being said to you, how you would feel, how it will drain out you emotionally, how it will drain out you mentally. Let's go to the next. Yeah. So, communication and communication barriers. So, we have next. Communication is a basic thing that is really very important in our day to daily life. Okay, everyone has someone, or someone in the life who will always be telling you something. You will be having your best friend, even you will be having relationships, you will be having parents, your mother, your father, and everyone, and you always want to tell them everything what is happening in your life, and sometimes you're drained out that these people don't understand you, and these people don't understand what you're going through, and whom do I speak? And at that time, like, I'm just telling you, right, just keep your logics behind, my people. If you are being in this world, this world is also not going into going under. Everything is not logical. Everything you have to keep backside, throw it away, and come to this world, to this real world. Okay, everyone over here is communicating with someone, and that's where it goes like, just hold on. Okay, there are like communication and their barriers. Next slide. Judging the major, judging, yeah. So judging is the major roadblock. See, we are, everyone knows that how it is a major roadblock. I'll be telling you a few things. You are name calling someone. Initially, when a when a child, see, there are, I didn't write it, all the presentation I made it myself, because it was, I wanted to complement it with the today's topic as non-violence. So there is kind of three kind of egos. Okay, there are three kinds of egos. First ego is your parent state ego, next one is your adult state ego, and the next one is your child state ego. Okay, so how it comes into a picture, it's a cycle, my friends. Okay, when a parent state ego, it comes into a picture when, like, the parents, the mom and dad are fighting, and are fighting, even if the woman who is bearing a child, you're thinking that if you fight with that, many of them are reading for doctors and everything, so you know it personally. You right now, you also don't think it logically, but you know it, that yes, the child understands every feeling, every heartbeat, that the every fear of losing a marriage, every fear of losing a husband to another woman, and every fear of something. So that practically is, you are thinking, okay, it's a normal thing for this world, but when it shows to a child, there comes the child state of ego. Okay, when that child grows up, and it continues, and that's where, see, the violence that is, I'm giving you an example, the violence that started in the family, in the domestic way, that is going to a child abuse, or breaking up with the heart breaking, and these all drain outs relationship, or it drain out mentally, or maybe in the work state, because it continuously, when you're name calling. Okay, when you call a person who is a short heighted, and you, a chota, yeah, whatever it is you call like this, it stays in the mind, maybe I'm not that, I don't have the height, that's the reason those girls don't like me, or that's the reason I'm not able to get a good job, or my beauty is not good enough. So that's what they started to think themselves. Let's go further. So sending solution, no, wait, sending solution is ordering or threatening. So ordering, threatening, moralizing, and excessive inappropriate questions. So we are like, you're living in a gossip world, like you'll get all the aunties over here, and they will be gossiping like, that child is doing this and that. And that's where I just want to tell you is that you are excessively doing something. If that person doesn't wants to open up to you, don't ask him, don't, hello. So don't ask him, don't continue to ask him what is wrong, what is happening, and that excessive question is making a barrier into a communication. See, if you have friends and you want to communicate, if you, whatever it may be, and you ask a lot of questions, and that person, why does he want me? If I want him to know about want him to know about me, I would open up myself. That's where we are failing. And next, that is avoiding the other concern. Other concern means you're always getting into a logical arguments. When that person is telling you about his family or his parents, that parents are always fighting, you are saying, ah, let them break up now, let them divorce. But you are not able to understand what state is he going, because he wants his both father and mother. And that's where you are suddenly giving a diagnostic. You're diagnosing everything in a sudden moment. For example, I'll tell you, is oh, there I'm just roaming in the street, and there one stranger comes to me and asks me, ma'am, do you know where is the Gandhi Chowk? And I'll be telling like, oh, you are I will be, see what I'll be doing. Oh, you are a stranger, right? So you don't know the chalk, right? Then he will say, sir, can you tell me where is the, sorry, hello,
Please.
please mute everyone who is speaking. I'm getting distracted. So where was I? So if that person asks me, Jeet, is it okay, my thing? Okay, so see if someone messages. Okay, so if that person where was I? So that person asked me that where is the road, and I will be behaving like, okay, I will be diagnosing him. Oh, maybe he's a, I will be telling him, sir, acha, you don't know the street and you're a stranger, na, that's why you don't know. So at that time, that person, that was, sir, can you tell me, I'm getting late for the meeting, I need to reach to Gandhi Chowk. And you will be like, oh, you are frustrated in your office, that's the reason you are irritated right now. And that person will be like, I just need to go, who are you to ask me? And that's where you're losing that stranger. You're speaking too much but not understanding that you are concerned about your thing. See, if there is a fire, you will pour water. As soon as you see the fire, you'll pour water. As soon as you see that person is asking you something. If that person is asking what's the time, you will be telling the time. Not, you won't say like, oh, you don't have watch and that's the reason, or maybe you are poor, or maybe you don't, you're frustrated about that. So how would that feel? So you are we are always concerned about. Next slide. So everyone is a counselor basically. It's written over there, right? So being a parent, being a friend, okay. So if you see why I wrote these questions, why do we need to understand man? Okay. I said you, why do we need to understand man? Until and unless you don't understand man, because you are living in this world, you just note down all the things that I said you question. These three things are the basic questions that you need to know as this day. This day, as we are celebrating Gandhi Ji's, let it not be only basically about everyone else. Maybe you need to realize, we need to realize our things. So until and unless we are well, we are doing good, then we will do good to others. So why do we need to understand man? Okay, you need to, because like if we don't understand man, we won't be able to know, or we won't be able to see what the other person is happening. Because see, Earlier, when I didn't do my counseling and all my stuffs, I didn't study about that. So earlier I used to be, when I go to shop, I used to be very temperamental, and I was like, give me the thing, and if that person won't be behaving well, I would be screaming at that person, that would be screaming back to me, and if there is a defect thing. So at that time I thought maybe that person is going through something else. If I stop that non-violence, sorry, if I stop that violence of abuse at that time, if that person is shouting at me, I don't need to shout back, because I need to maintain my thing. That's where you need to understand man and what is the view of a man. You need to understand what is my view. Do you, a lot of people will be frustrated about so many things. I don't want to live in this world having suicidal thinking and so many other stuffs. And at that moment, like, I am getting a lot of light. Ugh. Okay, at that moment, we'll just see. Is it, is it okay? Huh? Okay. That is why a view of man we need to understand. Now note down how are people described in your belief or view. A lot of people go according to their religious belief, some in no religious belief or a spiritual belief, or they will be having an idol. If you're going follower of Gandhiji, or if you're a follower of any beliefs like Hinduism, like in Muslims, in Christianity, and every aspects. No religion teaches us to violate other people's belief. No religion say to violate other to hurt other people, to emotionally you break down other people. So everyone has that thing, and according to your belief or according to your view, what are you expecting, or what are you going according to it. So I just want to tell you the first thing, how these things come into a picture. Okay, when I think I lost some of my, hold on. Okay. Okay. Did you see? I think I didn't understand. Make you understand this slide. Yeah. So, I said you the violence. This is the cycle that continues always. Okay. For example, if events happens in our life and we start to feel it, that yeah, maybe I'm not capable enough, and I start to believe it, that yes, that is the thing, that I'm a fool, I'm a failure. My parents say it, my friends say it, and my friends say that I'm not a good looking person, and that's all that then creates the action where this slide was not shown, and that's what creates an no, that's like, yeah. Okay, let it be. So so that's where it creates then action, then that action again it would go to someone else, and this continues, this cycle doesn't break. There's a study that shows that violence, the cycle of violence doesn't stop, and if you stop it from your side, from your end, and it stopped, it won't go. Maybe you are free from it, no matter how much. As you have seen the topic, putting fingers on your lips, how can you remove violence? Yes. So that's where we need to understand that how to break the violence from our side. If we step up, everyone would step up, they will know what is the actual thing that we are going through. So everyone putting behind the logics and everything, you're able to understand, right? So rejection, as I said you, the events, and events we may say the rejections. So rejections, there are a lot of rejections, like the rejection that are when we get a rejection, we start to rebel, and we start to have self rejection. We start to analyze ourselves. We start to analyze ourselves, and and the self protection, we start to protect ourselves from others. We don't try to mingle with others, and we don't try to mingle with others, and that's where it catch holds on the root of rejection. So earlier life, the manner, timing of conception. So I said, you're right. A woman who is pregnant, and when she is facing few problems, her child in her womb, if you see some doctors, they will be saying, yes, माँ को खुश रहना चाहिए, और a girl should be always happy about when she is pregnant, because it affects her womb. And that's where the manner of timing of conception, how she is, if she doesn't want a child and suddenly she gets pregnant, and that's where her mentality, her emotional backgrounds, everything starts to come up. And then the bonding of father and mother, in the earlier life, I'm telling you about in the earlier life, where the root of rejection comes in the bonding of mother and father, the neglect, negligence from the family, from the friends, and the abuse that they are going through. I don't know who's called. Okay. Then rejection also affects the entire personality. Okay. It damages our intellect. Okay. When it damages our intellect, inferiority, guilty, insecurity, and it even damages our emotions. You start to have self pity. Oh, I'm nothing, yaar. I just need to. I'm nobody.
मैंने म्यूट किया है, जितना प्रोजेक्ट दिखा दी हो गया, पे अपना फेस दिखा
दिख रहा है उनको वहाँ पे, ऑडियो वीडियो ऑन कर दो. So emotional
Excuse me, sorry, please to interrupt. Guys, can I please request every one of you to switch off your mics, because that is creating a bit of disturbance when she's speaking. So guys, please keep your mics off when we are asking, like if you're having any question, that time you can switch on.
Okay, you're hearing me properly, right? So you have to know it, because you are basically, even if you're not a professional counselor, you are personally a counselor to your child, to your husband, to your wife, to your maybe your boyfriends or girlfriends, or in a relationships, or in so many other things, about everything, your biasness, gender biasness, and everything it comes under. Okay. So that's where everyone is himself trying, his herself or himself need to make a limitation, make a boundary, where they need to control all their anger issues and everything. Because okay, when it is coming from your parents, when it is coming to your parents, you also have it, like when you someone will go home, and he might be very irritated in the school, very irritated from the professor, or something might have said, might have said them, and suddenly you bash into your friends, and you suddenly say your friends that then you get very angry, and that person is emotionally hurted, that you said so many things to your friend, and that friend now is not able to come up with a good thing about you, and he is not able to cancel everything that you have said. And that's where again, when you go to your friend and say, okay, I'm sorry, yaar, I was really very angry with that professor, and I wasn't really, you used to do your usual stuff, but I got irritated about it. So that's where you are continuing, and then that person would continue, your friend would continue, that friend would continue to someone else, and that's where the violence doesn't stop. The cycle goes on. The studies say so. Okay, so that's where, as our Mahatma Gandhi said, to take non-violence, lot of their followers didn't try to follow it exactly how he wanted. A peaceful non-violence, non-cooperation movement, satyagraha, and so many other things. So as I said, you I don't know if you believe in spirit. You lighten up your spirit, keep your spirit high. Everyone says you, right? You can do it. Keep your spirit high. And when you have the rejection, the affects it your entire personality. It affects that you are doubting, you are despair, you are disappointed on yourself, and then your spirit dies. You feel like, I cannot do anything. You're not able to put your shoulders high and say anything, and you are always complaining about it. So then comes the I'm telling you everything about the what is, somewhere it went somewhere, I don't know. Am I visible to everyone? See?
Zoom है कि कट गया?
I don't know. It's put it like this ना, यहाँ पे. अरे यहाँ पे जाके करो.
Zoom पे नहीं है.
अरे यहाँ पर है zoom. Wait.